Hey divine beings, peace, love, abundance, blessings. This is AstroPapi, and I'm just doing a quick follow-up video on my lessons with the Goetia spirits, and I'm adding this to my Goetia demon series. I have different videos on working with different guides such as Lucifer, Asmodeus, Belial, Marba, Sabnot, and this video is just a continuation on all of that. Now, I made most of those videos during 2023. I'm filming this now in 2024. And what I can say honestly is that when you are in a path where you're working with these spirits of the underworld or seen as spirits of quote unquote hell, you're actually working through your own personal underworld or your own personal hell. And those who get guided to connect with these different spirit guides that are seen as demons, that are really daemons, that are really ancient gods that were demonized by the Abrahamic belief system, when these spirits come to you, they're coming in because you're in a moment where you are going through deep darkness, or in your upbringing in life, you have gone through deep pain, deep suffering, deep anger. And these spirits show you that all of those things, pain, anger, darkness, can be divine. And the thing is, like, in any of my videos, when I talk about any deity or demons, like, I don't necessarily worship spirits. I give honor, thanks, and gratitude to spirits the same way I would give honor, thanks, and gratitude to a friend who comes over. I offer them water, I'm offer them food, I'm offer them wine, all right? And the thing is that when you're working with these spirits, you're not going to get anything instantaneous. This is not where you saw your soul and it's a wrap. I don't know where that preconceived notion came from, but when you're working with demons, you're not selling your soul. You're putting in the work, meaning that you, first of all, are not going to say, hey, for example, right, the demon Paimon is seen as the demon of riches, music, academic study, sciences, and people will think that, okay, I'll petition Paimon to become famous in music or something. Yeah, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. You are creating a relationship or a bond with a demon the same way you would a celestial being, an angel, a spirit guide. You're creating a bond and you're learning from them, and this is a daily path and a daily practice. There are no shortcuts in spirituality. In fact, you are held to a higher standard of accountability in spirituality. With that said, the powers that spirituality offer to alchemize yourself and your day-to-day circumstances is far stronger than just, doing it without spirituality. So there's pros and cons, but don't get it twisted. This is not a path for the people who want things instantly. And when you're working with Goetia spirits specifically, you are taking in darker energies. And when I say dark, I don't mean bad, because dark is primordial. Before there was light, there was darkness. When something comes out from the ground, such as flowers, such as trees, they were once in darkness. So these spirits are ancient and their energy is heavier and it's also stronger than, let's say, working with something like a fairy or even an angel. And not to say that angels are weak, but in terms of how our body is responding to these energies, it's more heavy, it's more serious. And there are people who are meant to work with them, who are compatible with them, and people who are not. And when honestly you connect with any spirit guide, I hope I advocate this enough in all my videos. You're not choosing them, they choose you. Like, there's no picking and choosing who you're going to work with. It's more of who comes forward for you and who doesn't come forward for you. All right? And the thing is that when you're working with these spirits, you're embodying their energy. And that takes up a lot of time. That takes up a commitment. That takes up a daily practice. That takes up having to change your way of seeing the world and your way of seeing yourself, and moving forward to striving toward becoming a fuller version of yourself. All right? And the thing is, when we look at these spirits of quote unquote hell, the universe, the multiverse, is just a reflection of our inside. So when we're thinking about spirits of the quote unquote underworld, we're actually going into our personal underworld, our deep subconscious, our anguish, our pain, our internal suffering, our sadness, our bondage, our fear. And when these demons come in, they're working through all of that to get you out of that, to get you to find your fullness. So when you're working with the spirits of darkness, it doesn't matter from what spiritual path, You're going through your own personal dark paths, your own personal ruins, your own personal abyss, and you're moving out of that to find your internal light. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole point of all of this. It's not to get caught up in worship. It's not to get an ego high because you have somebody powerful like Belial on your side to protect you. It's not about that. It's about growing. It's about becoming a fuller version of yourself. And I know that there are a lot of people who work with the Goetia demons who get upset over, Christians and Catholics over not respecting their beliefs. But it's like when you really work with these spirits, they show you how they don't care what people think about them. Of course, they want better representation, but that doesn't stop them from being who they are. In the same way, you have to be like that. You have to not let anybody stop you from being who you are. You have to go forward in your path. You have to go forward and trusting what you're doing. And it doesn't matter what people think. So long as you're safe, so long as you are in a capacity to do your spiritual work safely where nobody is harming you or putting you in any type of risk, go on, go forward. All right. It's a privilege to even be able to do that. So don't get caught up in, oh, my family thinks I'm crazy or people don't like me. Like, okay. And the point about spirituality isn't to be liked, it's not to be understood. It's about to find fullness within you, which means that people's opinions of you eventually, and it takes time to get there. I wasn't always there. You gotta not care. It doesn't matter anymore. And lastly, I know that people ask me to do more videos on the Goetia demons, talk about other ones. Now, there's a lot of demons in the Keys of Solomon. I'm not going to cover them all because anytime I cover a spirit guide, it's because I've done work with them. I've channeled for them on behalf of somebody else, like a client. But if I don't connect with that spirit guide on a personal level and have a testimony of how they help me, I don't make videos about them or how they help clients. And the reason why is because I want to make sure that my videos are authentic, they're real. You can feel the embodiment of energy when I'm communicating on behalf of them. I don't want to misrepresent those spirits. Like the clicks, the likes, the shares, that's cool. But I'm not going to be a poser either. Like, I'm not gonna make a video on a specific demon if that specific demon isn't coming to me. There are a bunch of spirit guides out there in spirituality, and even though I connect with a lot, I'm not gonna be able to cover it all. And that's the beauty of it because others will. And, that's the beauty of having different spiritual information and knowledge being shared, especially on a platform like YouTube. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not going to say this is a perfect platform, but this gives us so many privileges that back in the day we didn't have. So I don't always cover every demon. And I haven't really been doing a lot of demon videos only because I haven't been in that energy. I used to do a lot of shadow work. If y'all saw the videos, I was wearing all black. I was carrying a lot of obsidians. I was going through a time when the Goetia demons came to me. First, it was Lucifer. They came to me to teach me boundaries because I was becoming that wounded healer who attracted narcissists, who didn't stand up for myself, who didn't have a backbone. And they taught me how to fight for myself. They taught me how to value myself and how to start setting boundaries so that I don't get zapped dry of my energy. That's why they came. And they all came with different science, wisdom, and insight on both occult and spiritual and esoteric matters, but also the physical, practical, day-to-day matters, such as how I communicate, such as my self-limiting beliefs, such as how I can show up more professionally and more with agency in my personal life and my professional life. So these demons, they're here to help you. And if they're not, don't work with them because the same way an angel helps us from the above, the demons help us from below. And that's another thing, angels and demons, they don't fight each other. I know that that's been a narrative that they told us for a long time. And you gotta understand something. As above, so below. As within, so without. Darkness and light, sometimes they co-work together. And they're protecting Earth through their own personal means and sciences. And when you connect with angels personally and you connect with demons personally, you can ask for more information on your own. I don't have to be the one to tell you all this. All right. So I hope this video was a service. Right now, I'm not fully making Goetia spirit videos. I will from time to time when I'm in a space to be able to embody them. But right now, I'm working on my light side. I'm working on embodying softness and embodying light. That doesn't mean that I don't channel them. And I love when clients come in who want demon type readings or consultations, and I offer those because it reminds me of them. It reminds me of how happy I was when I was with them and how embraced I felt, because they don't care about your shadows. They actually guide you. They have so much compassion. They don't coddle you, they don't baby you, they don't baby your shadows, but they say, hey, I understand why you do this, but don't be so self-destructive. All right. And if these demons are telling you to be destructive, telling you to harm others, telling you to harm yourself, those are lower level spirits. Those are probably posing as the Goetia spirits. And don't listen to them. I don't care who it is. I don't care what energy it is, whose name it is. If something is telling you not to do something for your greater good, don't listen. All right. You do have to be kind of like advancing your spirituality to even connect with these spirits. And I'm not saying that from a place of disrespect, because they're just primordial energy. They're ancient. And you got to come at them respectfully. You can't command them. You can't force them to do anything. And I know that people talk about the Solomon keys as if they're like seals. They're not. They're invocations. So there's just a little bit about demons. I hope that this video was a service. I do have other demon videos. If y'all have seen them, check them out. I'm going to add this one to the playlist. And yeah, I want to just break down stereotypes, break down illusions. I know that there will always be people who are scared of what I do. And I'm not here to control people's opinions of me. I'm just here to do my job. And when we think about Lucifer, the light bearer, right? Like, he bears the light and he just says things the way they are. And Lucifer, or when we think about even the word devil's advocate, it just talks about the things that we're afraid to see. It shows us the truths that we don't want to see within ourselves that exist. Without heaven, there is no hell. Without hell, there is no heaven. Without God, there is no devil. Without the devil, there is no God. There is a balance. And the good and the bad exist within us too. And we have to learn how to use the creative side, that God side, beautifully, and when to use it and productively. And we also have to learn how to use that devil side, or that demon side, that destructive side, productively and useful. And that takes a lot of maturity, and that's not easy. And every day is a battle, right? Are we going to be mature in our light and mature in our darkness too? And when you look at the high priestess in tarot, she stands between the pillar of light and darkness. She stands between the heavens and the underworlds, and they both matter. There's a time and place for each and every one of them. And you, as the human, as the spirit having a human experience, as the divine being, as the conjurer, as the alchemist, as the priest, the priestess, the magician, the sorceress, the sorcerer, you got to find your inner balance, and you have to know how to use your own internal light and darkness for your greater good and the greater good of others. That's not easy. That's a life path, and it takes time, but try to, do good to yourself and do good for others, all right? So there's just a little video on connecting with the Goetia demons, things I've learned, why I don't always do Goetia demon videos. I will be doing some channelings. The demon Gremory has come to me to talk about her more, and she is a healing spirit. So when I'm in the capacity and the ability to, I'll make a video with her. But again, I don't do these videos right away. I don't mass produce my YouTube videos. I only really do it when I feel called and when I'm in the capacity to be able to do it. I also offer private work, so I'm doing a lot of private work. And I do that both with my clients, but also with myself. I'm transmuting. I'm a shaman. I'm going through my own spiritual journeys and my own spiritual awakenings and purgings and all of that. And every time I come back to surface and I learn new things, I share it with y'all. So that's how it works. If you see somebody who is just creating content spiritually back and forth, like it's a machine, I mean, just be a little cautious, because spiritualists, we need a lot of time to reflect, to transmute, to learn, to connect, and then to share what we learn in our endeavors, in our journeys, in our paths. All right. My name is AstroPapi. I offer private readings, consultations, spell work. All of that can be found on the about below. Stay beautiful, stay abundant, stay great. And may whatever path you're in spiritually, whatever guides you work with, and if you are privileged to work with the Goetia spirits, may you do so with integrity, with love, with compassion, with great responsibility, and with great wisdom. All right. Stay beautiful, stay abundant, stay great, y'all.